Hey you guys, what's up? It's your girl Moona Love back on the usual spot tonight. Hope all of y'all are doing well. We're definitely going to get into some real good stuff today, so just stay with me because, like I said, it's going to get good today. So, to start off, we're going to be talking about this video game called Final Fantasy X. I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard about it. It's a really good game. It came out like back in 2001, 2002, I believe. And it was just a phenomenon. Like, it was the first ever Final Fantasy game that actually had voices to it, to the characters. So, that was like a really big thing. And, the cinematic scenes, like, the character builds, it was just great. Like, Square Enix had came a long way with their Final Fantasy games by this time. So what I want to talk to you about is one of the main protagonists of the game, Tidus, whichever way you want to pronounce his name. There's been a lot of debate on that. He's not from the world of Spira, because Spira is the world that, we adventure in. He's from, Zanarkand, but the, dream Zanarkand, not the actual Zanarkand. And he's thrust into a new world where he doesn't know anybody, he doesn't know anything that's going on. He's like just baffled and just lost. So he meets our party members one by one, and things start to become clear for him as he begins to ask questions, because he has a lot of questions, because like I said, this is a foreign land for him. He's never been here. Everything that he's hearing is like, whoa, like, what is going on here? Like, I'm not understanding. So let me ask some questions. And it seems like people might be getting annoyed with all his questions and everything, but he's like, I'm just going to still keep asking questions. He questions things that no one else even questions about, like, well, why is that Sin keeps reappearing, which is the main enemy of the game, who we're trying to defeat. Why does Sin keep reappearing? Is there any way that we can defeat Sin permanently to where Sin doesn't keep coming back, every 10 years to just destroy everything? And it's like, these are questions where it's like, no one asks these questions. It's like, they just follow along of what they've been taught and what they've been told. No one questions anything. No one questions the system that they've grown up on their entire lives. It's like literally for 1,000 years they've been told the one single way that Sin can be defeated, and that's for summoners to do it. But Sin will come back every 10 years. And in order for the summoners to defeat Sin, they have to acquire the final summoning. But when Tidus comes along, it changes the whole game plan. It's like everything is questioned, everything is challenged. It's like, everyone's eyes begin to open. Like everybody in a party, in your party, their eyes begin to open. Like, whoa, like we never thought of these questions before. We never thought to ask these questions because we just never thought of it before. So my topic is basically where I'm getting at. My topic is basically about, question everything, because it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to not know things. A lot of times we think, oh, we have to know the answer to everything. We have to be in our P's and Q's. We have to know this, that, and the other. If we don't know what that is, then we'll seem stupid, or we'll seem like uncool and stuff like that. Like, it's uncool to ask questions. You just nod your head and say yes and agree with everything that's being said. But that's what I'm saying. This particular character, he didn't just nod his head and agree with everything that was being said. He questioned everything because he had a question for everything. Like, it was nothing that he just nod his head with and agreed and said, okay, I'm just going to follow along and just do the same thing all y'all's doing. No, he questioned everything. And though it might have annoyed some people, that he may not have known these answers, or that he may not had known, like, okay, what are you all doing? He still questioned everything. So, I'm here to tell you it's okay to ask questions. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. don't think that, that makes you less of a person because you have a question that needs to be answered, because it doesn't. Like, we all have questions. We all have things that we don't understand. We don't know everything because we're not perfect. We're not a quiz book. We're not an answer sheet. We're not Google. Even Google doesn't know everything, so it's like, don't get discouraged, to ask a question. Ask a question. Like I said, question everything, because at the end of the day, we don't know everything. Don't just go along agreeing with what other people say. Don't just, nod your head and say, yeah, I agree. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. 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 Because you don't know. And, you feel like you won't fit in anymore. You feel like you won't belong anymore. You feel like, it's stupid of you to ask a question because you should already know. I mean, I still question things. I question the new slang that the generation after me uses and everything. Huh? Like, what are you saying? Like, I'll be confused. It's like I have a friend who is 7 years younger than me, and he uses slang that I ain't never heard of before. Like I'm just like, what? And he's like, yeah, you never heard this before? I'm like, no, I've never heard this before. It's one term he uses. I think he said it's brick outside. I was like, huh? What does it mean to be brick outside? What are you talking about? Like I literally laughed while I asked this question, because I'm like, bro, what do you mean it's brick outside? And he told me, oh, it means that it's cold outside. I'm like, so you couldn't have just said that it was cold outside instead of saying it's brick outside. I'm not understanding. What is the point of saying brick? You just can't say it's cold outside? Like, is that too hard to say? But that's part of the new slang from for today. So I'm like, okay, well, at least I know what it means now, because I wasn't afraid to ask that question. And, it might show my age a little bit. It might show that I'm not, hip to, everything that's going on around me and stuff. But I wasn't afraid to ask that question. And, he probably looked at me like, can't believe she don't know what this is. She ain't that much older than me. I mean, she, like, where she been at? Under a rock or something like that. But I'm just saying, like, it's okay to ask questions. And, if you ask a question and it's like something where you don't understand, just laugh it off inside your head, or laugh it off out loud, because, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. So, like I said, don't be afraid to ask questions, question everything. Whatever you don't understand, question it. Don't just follow the crowd and just nod your head yes, like you understand, if you don't understand. So, like I said, be like Tidus in Final Fantasy X. Question everything. Like, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask your questions. No matter how it may make you look to other people and everything, or you feel like it's foolish and stuff like that. Ask your questions. Like, don't be afraid don't be afraid to do that, okay? But I thank y'all for staying with me this far. Definitely gonna have another video out tomorrow. Might be on another video game, might be on anime. Who knows? You gotta come back to check it out to see. So, definitely hit the like button. Share this video with everybody that you can. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and leave me some comments down in the comment section. Like I said, I read all my comments, so that way no one feels like, oh, she's not paying me any attention, or maybe she's not like reading the comments and stuff like that. Like I said, I read all my comments, so leave me some comments. Throw out some video games for me and everything, some game titles. I haven't played every game under the sun because I don't have every system. But definitely throw some games out for me to talk about, and hit that bell button, so that way you get notifications if you are already subscribed. But this is your girl, Moon and Love. It's been great talking to you guys again, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.